Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Welcome back for another video. We have some exciting news today, and this is from Kitco News talking about silver trading at a 4-month high, and it still has plenty of value. Now, this was an article written today, actually, July 17th, so it is fresh off the press, and it's a really exciting article. Covers some interesting things, and I'd love to share this with you guys. As always, the link to this article will be in the description if you want to check it out yourself. And also, before we get into this article, make sure to smash that like button. I try to stay up on top of the most recent news for you guys, and also subscribe if you already haven't. So anyways, let's jump into this. So the headline is Silver trading at 4-month high still has plenty of value. Analyst. This was from Neil Christensen, written today, July 17th. So anyways, says gold's price momentum is starting to weaken, and that's following, gold finally breaking past that $1,400 resistance. But investors are finding value in other precious metals, specifically silver, as the metal trades near a 4-month high, according to some analysts. Not only are silver prices trading at multi-month highs, but the gold to silver ratio has dropped below 90 for the first time in a month, which is interesting because once gold broke past that $1,400 mark, it was like the gold to silver ratio was like 92-1, meaning it took 92 ounces of silver to equal or amount to 1 ounce of gold, which is extremely high. That's a really high ratio, and it's good to see that it is starting to close back down. And I mentioned this in my video before, that either this meant that gold is going to have to weaken or depreciate, or silver is going to have to appreciate. And I'm curious to see where it goes, because gold is, or silver is gold's, little brother. So it's interesting to see how these markets move or correlate to each other. But anyways, not only are okay, so looking at silver's recent price action, the market has seen 4 days of consecutive gains. Meanwhile, gold prices have been stuck at the bottom end of their recent channel, hugging support just above $1,400 an ounce. So once gold broke past that $1,400 resistance, it didn't really gain too much momentum. Usually, once there is a resistance on a market or on an exchange, it usually breaks a little past that or jumps up. And I figured the silver was going to take off with it, but it looks like silver is slowly starting to climb and gold is kind of staying stagnant. So it's interesting to see this. But anyway, September silver futures last traded at $15.78 an ounce, up to 0.65% on the day. At the same time, gold futures last traded at $1,410 an ounce, relatively unchanged on the day. So silver is slowly climbing. So head of the commodity strategy at TD Securities said it appears that investors are starting to recognize the value in the silver market, which is really good news, because we all know that silver is extremely undervalued, especially as gold starts to appreciate. We're like, okay, is it silver's turn yet? Silver is so beneficial in so many different things in the world, and we all know that, but the rest of the world seems to finally be catching on. This is in quotations. A lot of investors are starting to think that the gold market has exhausted a lot of its momentum, but silver has a lot of room to move higher, he said. Investors are starting to recognize value in silver. For the rest of the year, Melik said that they see a significant improvement in silver, with prices pushing $16.70 by the end of the year, a gain roughly 6% of current prices. Next year, he said banks see prices could be pushing up to $18.75, which is really exciting. I still, I started in silver when it was around the $20-$21 range, so this is still fairly short to me. It's still, especially understanding silver's real value, so when I see these prices, it is good. It's a start, that we have to start somewhere, and this is exciting because it's finally a start. We're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. I definitely still think silver has a long way to go for its natural price, or its real value in an industrial market, or even the technological world, but it is a start. So anyways, senior technical analyst at Kitco also said that silver is an attractive asset for bargain hunters, which is interesting and a great point. This week's gains in silver have given the market a much more bullish technical posture on the daily chart, which is inviting more chart-based buying. He said, keep in mind that just 3 years ago, silver prices traded above $21 an ounce, which I just mentioned earlier. And from late 2010 and early 2013, prices sustained levels of $25. And don't forget, silver was $50 in 2011 as well. Commodity analysts Commerce Bank said that the investor interest in silver-backed exchange-traded products appears to be a drive behind the latest price rally. Silver ETFs have continued to register substantial inflows in recent days. Inflows since the start of the month have exceeded 600 tons, they said, which is that's really high. That's great news to be getting this this type of healthy attraction in a market, especially with precious metals. Although higher gold prices are making silver prices more attractive, Melick said that he expects silver can still rally even if gold falls below 1,400 an ounce, which I definitely think it would rally even more because people will start to be trading their gold for silver, using the gold to silver ratio to their advantage. And also, if they see it more, a silver more profitable, they will start investing in that. People will just be swapping out one for another, definitely making silver the more attractive and more profitable asset to purchase, which is going to even push prices higher. Silver has a lot of catching up to do, he said. Unless we see a significant rout in gold, silver can still move higher. We expect gold to prices to range bound in this higher channel between 1380 and 1440 an ounce. Analysts expect gold and silver to benefit in an environment falling interest rates as markets could continue to price in at least 25 basis point cut by the end of the month. Tuesday, the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell reiterated the call that the central bank sees a case for looser monetary policy as global uncertainty is weighing on U.S. economic growth prospects, which is also something interesting to mention because talking about the economy and the role that silver plays is also a huge influential factor that plays in on silver's price and gold. Especially if the economy is in very sketchy, uncertain times, people tend to draw their attention to precious metals because it is more of a safer investment, especially compared to fiat currency. Especially if people are getting scared with the banking systems or the government, they tend to like to control their money and take control of the physical assets. Not even talking about just silver ETFs and all that, but the actual precious metal, the physical precious metal or the bullion. So many FOMC participants judged at the time of our most recent meeting in June that the combination of these factors strengthened the case for a somewhat more accommodative stance of policy. Powell said in prepared remarks at an event in Paris, "We are carefully monitoring these developments and assessing their implications for the U.S. economic outlook and inflation, and will act as appropriate to sustain the expansion with a strong labor market and inflation near its symmetric 2% objective." So I thought this was a really, really interesting article. Like I said, the link will be down below if you guys want to check it out for yourself. Kitco usually always has the most recent up-to-date stuff, and I always try to keep my eye on that, especially if something exciting like this pops up. I always make a video to cover it and try to give you guys the breaking news on what's happening, minute by minute, basically. That's just my job on this channel, to inform you guys and also share my input. And do you guys like how I kind of share my input as I read these articles, or do you want me to just read the article all the way through? I'm curious what you guys think, because I think it's beneficial for me to like read a sentence and then kind of share my input on what I think about that remark or whatever it's saying in the article, just to put my 2 cents in, and also maybe dive a little deeper into something that they mention. Like if they're mentioning the gold to silver ratio, I can mention something that along the lines of how it was just 92 to 1, what this could mean for silver, etc. I think that's kind of it's a more interesting and educational factor to implement on these videos, to kind of share more knowledge on them, because they are fairly short, but I do like to kind of round up what they mean, especially for new beginner stackers or someone who doesn't know all these terms and stuff. It can be a little confusing, so I like to try to break it down to a more relatable and understandable type of context, just for beginners, and also obviously for the more experienced stackers who can follow along with me as well. But what do you guys think about this article? I think it's really interesting. If gold is going to stay stagnant, then silver, I definitely think, has a lot of potential. I mean, just look at this chart right here. This is going all the way back from August 18th. And we see everything's starting to be more, it's starting to rally. I don't know how much momentum it's going to pull, but if silver does start pulling more momentum and media actually starts covering it, in a good light, not the Merrill Lynch, manipulating trillions of dollars and silver is in a bear market, but the good news about it, about the undervalued aspect, how it's profitable, how much potential there is, then I think more new investors will be attracted to it. And that's what's important. The people who understand silver's value are always going to buy silver. We know what that is, but the thing is drawing new people in. Everyone knows that gold's the real metal, so if people are going to start investing into precious metals, they're more likely to start with gold. They don't really understand the value or the undervalued aspect of silver. They have to learn that. Everyone, even as a kid, if you want to buy gold, that's money, that's valuable. But silver, it's something you kind of have to learn and get educated on. And that's why I think it's so important, if media is going to cover this stuff, to mention these factors, to mention how important it is, to mention how beneficial it is in the technical and industrial world. That's stuff that I think we don't cover enough, and that's why on my channel I really try to educate and bring, especially new people into the world of precious metals and educate them about that. And I hope you guys do the same as well. Sharing these videos, liking these videos is a great way to start doing that, because the more people like these videos and share them, the more people it reaches out to, and the suggested videos on YouTube, and more people that get to, get a taste of what it's like and get educated on it. But anyways, I'm curious what you guys think about this. If you did like this video or thought it was even just informal, make sure to smash the like button. Subscribe if you already haven't. This was Silver Slayer. I post daily videos. If you want to stay tuned, and make sure you guys check in every day for some videos around, between 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'll always be posting a video. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys soon. Peace.